All right, welcome, kings and queens. Welcome back, y'all. We are talking Love and Marriage, Huntsville, season 9, episode 11. Ooh, this was a good episode. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm gonna have to give you your credit where credit is due, Carlos. This was a fiery episode, and I'm loving it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Yes, but listen. I'm not going to give you everything because I got to save some for tomorrow, Monday night, 7:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, party in the chat. I'm going to save some of it for tomorrow, but I'm going to give you a little teaser today. So welcome. Let's jump in. Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 9, episode 11. Listen, Kimmy, what are you doing? What are you doing, Miss Lady, Miss Thang, stirring the pot in the group of women? Okay, you're the oldest, but you're stirring the pot this season, particularly between Melody and Trish. Okay. And I can't help but to think while I was watching this episode, girl, you've jumped back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said to myself, why doesn't Kimmy say what she needs to say to Chris and Nell? Why you sitting down in front of Melody talking shit about Chris and Nell, talking shit about Trish, and then you go to Trish and you talk about Melody, and then you go here, you go there, you go a little bit of everywhere. Come on, Kimmy. I'm going to need you to stand in that big girl energy. I'm going to need you to stand up and say it with your chest. Come on. You have been a huge disappointment this season, but okay. Now, Kimmy, I find it really funny that you don't want nobody talking about Maurice's indiscretions. But here you are dibbing and a dabbing and everybody else's business and who's sleeping with who and who hooked who up with who and what kind of rings they got running at the gym. But girl, let somebody say Maurice's name. You try to shut it down. You refuse to talk about it. It's all legalities. You're binded by the court system. Maurice and you and the Scotts are off topic. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Miss Pam. Okay? Now, you are quick to talk about who's hooking who up, but God forbid, child, let somebody whisper Maurice's name. She's going to have a whole hissy fit, and I want to talk about it. Listen, for those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
I want to talk about the elephant in the room. We're being forced. I feel like I'm being forced to talk about the elephant in the room. Production, come a little closer, pull up a seat. This is where you lose us over and over and over again. This is where we say Destiny can go. Should have been gone yesterday. Why is she here? Destiny has no storyline. Why are we relaunching Madani again, and again on camera? I'm not understanding it, but I'll wait for you to explain. I'm going to need you to make that make sense, Carlos King, on your Messy Mondays. Why is this yet again her storyline? Destiny Payment. Okay, so Destiny Payton, I feel like you were too far along. Production, follow me. Carlos, follow me. Destiny Payton is too far along in her reality television career to be operating a business outside, I mean, not outside, but inside a storage unit, the production of it all. Do y'all ever stop to say, no, we can't do that? Destiny, we can't relaunch Madani. This seems and feels like a repeat, a three-peat, a four-peat of what you've previously done. I feel like you're a little bit too far along in your reality career to be operating in a storage room. People, we have to make it make sense. And although this may be your reality, can we come up with something better? Okay? The production of it all. If this was started from the bottom, now I'm here kind of situation for Destiny, then that kind of story I can follow maybe 4 years ago and watch her start in a storage closet, a storage unit, post divorce, and then watch her build out to a brick and mortar. But it seems like she's aging backwards, and I'm not here for it because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't give Black excellence. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Destiny has been on this show far too long, 4 years and counting. What are we doing, production? What are we doing? Can you make it make sense? Y'all not about to pee on my leg. and then tell me it's raining. That is a storage place. I watched it. I watched while she and Lance were sitting there talking, and the camera zoomed in the background. There's locks. This is a place where people store stuff. This is not a place where you run business, okay? Y'all didn't see those units in the background, but all right. I mean, I'm going to go with it, but all right. Now, Lance, on his way out, when he let the ladies have it, I kind of like Lance. I like Lance. Lance seems like he has a knack for nurturing. And he seems like he's a man about his business. He knows not to hog up the camera. He understands that it's a woman's television show. He doesn't really try to over present himself. He says exactly what he needs to say. And then he stops talking and he lets the ladies have the limelight. I kind of like Lance. I do. And I would like to see more of him, Carlos, without being attached to Destiny. I want to see Lance as just Lance being Lance without you trying to hook him up with Destiny or Trisha or whomever else may be open for the cause. But so Lance gets ready to say bye to the ladies. Okay, watch this. On his way out, he joked, Tisha said, "Ooh, what do y'all do in here?" And Lance said, "It's too tight in here for that." Now, follow me closely. If Lance is saying it's too tight in the storage unit for intimacy, how in the hell you gonna fit customers in there? Girl, quit playing in our faces. If it's too tight to even lay down in there and get a little kiss and a little boom boom, y'all not about to push this as black excellence. You're not. Um, by the way, how is that spray doing? Does anybody know? Because Kimmy said it smelled good. Does anybody know how that spray is doing? Drop it in the chat. Let me know. I want to transition to Tisha, Destiny, and Kimmy. They transitioned from the storage room and then they went outside. They had they carried the conversation outside. Did y'all see that big ass smirk on Destiny's face when Kimmy said Moses was picked up and arrested for the violation of his probation? I tried to tell y'all, but y'all said, "Oh, Queen Sheba's crazy. Ain't no way Destiny narked on Moses." Okay. I tried to tell y'all, Destiny didn't feign not 1 ounce of surprise. Girl, what? I know you lied. Girl, when? Who told you? Or what? None of that. Just a smirk. Destiny, you ain't no good. You ain't no good. Destiny smiled and smirked because she already knew what time it was. She already know what she did, allegedly. Okay? Not 1 ounce of surprise. None of that. But anywho, child, I'm just asking y'all to pick up the contextual clues that are being laid in front of you and go back and watch the soundbite that production play when she smirked. Y'all, you know what? Y'all gotta get on board and start and keep up with what's going on in front of you, okay? But listen, they get into the conversation about uh Melody's mimosa and Nell's bridal, what is it, bridal party or whatever. But before they shift into Nell, they start talking about mimosas with Melodies. And Destiny, how come Melody can't invite Sunny to her mimosa party? You and Melody aren't friends anymore. That friendship is done. So why are you concerned with who's there and who she invites? Sunny is her coworker. Why would Sunny not be invited? Why would you even expect Melody to honor you in any dealings that she's had or she's having with anybody? Why do you expect Melody to prioritize you humping on Moses for 15 years? Okay. Y'all ain't friends, baby. It don't even make sense. You should have had not one thing to say about that. Then one of them things you say, "Oh, okay, cool." Or "I'm simply not surprised." And you move on. That's it. That's all. But the level of expectation is delusional to me. It's so unrealistic to me. And sometimes I really question what's going on in your head, Destiny. I really do. You expect Melody to honor your dealings with Moses, although you and Melody are no longer friends. Can somebody please make it make sense to me? Because maybe I am missing something. Are y'all picking up on this foolishness? The level of privilege and expectation, the delusion of it all? And Tisha, let me say something. And I'm not going to go too much into detail regarding it today, but Destiny keeps checking you directly and indirectly every chance she gets. She told you right then and there, ain't no humble nothing over here. Now, she didn't have that tone and that energy with Kimmy, but she had it with you. And if you ain't picking it up, then that's shame on you because she's coming off the heels of disrespecting you at brunch, little Miss Sunshine. But you know what? I'm going to stay out of your business. I want to shift, if we can shift really quickly. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I want to shift to briefly Chris and Melody. They met at a popcorn shop. The next time I'm in Huntsville, I think I'm gonna go try that popcorn place because I love popcorn, and it really did look good. But let me get back on task. Chris, ain't no way. I hear what you're saying, bro, and I understand you got to say that to make it right with your wife, so it doesn't look like you out here running hoes and setting people up and recruiting. But Chris, ain't no way Martell can take a last name and plop it in on Instagram and find Trish, not knowing what her first name is, sir. Now, if you listen, if y'all want to fall for those lies, y'all go right ahead. Because first of all, you seem to be leaving additional details out the story. I think there was a handoff between you and Martell. I think you handed the baton to Martell because ain't no way he can successfully find someone the first time on Instagram by typing in a last name, not knowing who the hell he's looking for, according to you, if your story is true. That sounds crazy. Ray Charles can see you're lying. Okay. I think you may have gotten Trisha's information and you gave it to Martell. You gave it to Martell because to my knowledge, Trish, I don't believe she goes by her name on Instagram. Many people don't. So the lie detector determined that that is an absolute lie. Do y'all believe that? Do you believe Chris Fletcher didn't know anything about Trish? He remembered her last name, didn't know her first name, and told Martell, I think this is her last name. And then boom, Martell Holt is savvy enough to get his ass on a computer and find her the first go around. Are y'all buying that? Does that sound reasonable and plausible to you? And if so, I want to know not. I want to know why. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. I think he's lying. Melody is confronting you about hooking Martell up. And I know you feel like you said in your confessional, Chris, why would she even worry? She not with Martell. Technically, you're absolutely correct. But here's the nuance of it all. You did this while they were married. You did it under the guise and the cloak of marriage. And not only that, you're a full-fledged married man yourself. And Trish was married. So that's why she want to know what kind of operations are you running? Okay. Let's not forget that tiny piece. You out here recruiting. Okay. And then don't want to be checked. When people find out information about you, sir, welcome to the realm of reality. That is how it works. You do shit, shit gets talked about. Don't try to make it make sense so that you're not in the hot seat. We want to know, why are you out here hooking up married men and married women to sleep together? You and Nell are out here posing as mentors, but yet under the in your mentorship program, do the mentees know, particularly the wives, know that their husbands are going to be inducted into the hall of infidelity? Do they know that the prize that comes with your mentorship program is they're going to be cheated on? And then the husband's response to the wife being cheated on is go talk to an older woman like Nell who can tell you how to stay. Yeah, that's why she confronted you. She's just now finding out how you really operate. So don't try to play that in a confessional. She shouldn't be worried about him anyway. She's not with him. You helped her not to be with him, sir. If we really gonna talk about it. Y'all, these men are out here running an entire operation. I think it's absolutely hilarious now that it's all coming out. And then they're using the older wives to try to reach the younger wives and teach them how to take it. You see how Kimmy has a clause where she requires the men and the women to not speak on Jefferson being out late night in the streets past midnights. It's absolutely forbidden. They can't talk about it. She won't talk about it. And she refuses to talk about it on camera. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I will say this, Chris Fletcher. I'm willing to let that go because you redeemed yourself, sir, in that scene. Thank you for laying up the alley hoop and letting us know that Maurice and Marceau run hoes. And they actually make them sign NDAs. Thank you for giving us that. We clocked that T. That's funny as hell, y'all. How y'all see what Chris did? Chris threw them under the bus to save themselves. He said, that sounds like something a Marceau or Maurice would do. Make women sign an NDA while they're cheating on their wives. Ooh, thank you, Mr. Fletcher. That will suffice today. We appreciate it. Oh, Jefferson. Can y'all imagine? Oh, Jefferson is out here allegedly whipping out paperwork prior to laying down. Prior to laying down with these hoes, y'all. Maurice is formulating paperwork, working up paperwork in his legal office, being the smart, savvy, sassy attorney that he is. Ain't that crazy? Is that not crazy? Did y'all pick up with Chris Fletcher? He gave y'all a treat. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. All right, I promise I'm not going to hold y'all long. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to go to the finale. That's the final scene. If I can break it down, we're going to be up out of here real quick. All right, let me get into it. Well, the knight in shining armor himself, Mr. Martel Holt, y'all, has deemed Marceau as being a controlling narcissist who doesn't give Letitia a say in their marriage. You know what? That's probably true. Yeah, we've seen that. That's how she entered the realm of love and marriage Huntsville by saying that her husband is controlling, domineering. He doesn't believe she's equal to him. And yes, he's treated her like that based on her introduction to the show in season 1. So that probably has a lot of truth. But Martell, you have your nerve. Okay? Didn't you try to implement the same rule in Reign over Melody and felt miserably? You did, but aren't you doing the same with your mistress? Is that not how you run your house? Is that not how you rule with an iron fist when it comes to your mistress and you attempted to do it with your wife? But okay, let's go then, Martell. Since we're gonna play this game, let's go. Martell said that Marceau should not force Letitia to sit there amongst men and be privy to this conversation if she doesn't want to be. Sir, I'm gonna need you to roll the freaking tapes back. Roll the tapes back. Production. Martell, did you or did you not in this episode? Didn't you just try to ambush that lady? Did you not just try to ambush that lady while she was out to brunch? And you did it as a man without her husband being present. Did you and Destiny try to set her up and slam dunk on her without her husband present? Let me lay it out for you. See, here's what's happening in this scene, and it was a good scene. It was a good scene, and both of them was dressed down. Watch this. Marceau allowed Martell to speak, and he waited patiently. He waited patiently. He pulled a move. He pulled a good move, the art of war. Then he took off his sunglasses. And he took off his sunglasses to exude dominance and power so that they could square up, man to man, via eye contact, which to me made Martell uncomfortable. Okay. Now, before I go any further, Letitia, I'm going to need you to grow up. I'm going to need you to start bossing up and being a grown woman about how you handle your business in some of these scenarios and in most of these situations. Your phone should have been put up. Your phone should have been put up, and I don't care how nervous and how uncomfortable you were. I needed your back and your spine to be up straight. I needed your legs crossed, and I needed you to sit there like a confident woman. You were slouched over, you had that phone, and you were playing on the phone, and you killed the scene. But that's okay. I'm going to get back into it. You killed the scene. People who pull out their phones in situations like this, in my opinion, you demonstrate a lack of confidence. This scene would have hit hard from start to finish if Letitia had put that phone up and sat up like a big girl and looked straight into that nigga's eyes as if he was a non-fucking factor. Let me tell you, if you would have put that phone up, it would have gave power couple. We gotta walk this scene down, y'all. We gotta walk this scene down. That's my only regret about this scene. So what happens is Martell, he doubles down in the confessional. He said, and he's not letting up off of this, even if it means exposing his own dirt. He said that he and Marsau have shared women while both of them were married. However, he makes it a point to differentiate that Marsau has always gone behind him when it comes to women. Do you know what that means? Grown up? I think you do. I think you do. And he believes that if Letitia allows Marsau's indiscretions to get out, then she'll be forced to make a decision like Melody was forced to make a decision. So his notion, meaning Martell, his notion is Letitia does everything in her power to control the narrative surrounding the indiscretions so that she doesn't have to sit down and face the reality of her own marriage. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Now, Martell's not too far off from based on what we've seen season after season after season regarding the cocoon that I believe Letitia lives in order to protect her own mental. If we really had to break it down, I do believe she's in denial. Or is she really? Because at this point, based on the scene between Marsau and Martell, there may have been a get it all out between Marsau and Letitia, after they decided to continue to work on their marriage post separation. But I don't really think Marsau has told Letitia everything. But I also feel like if Martell tells everything, I don't think Marsau cares at this point. It is what it is. But yeah. Okay, so what are your thoughts before I move on? Now, are y'all ready to get into the thick of it? I promise you, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. Martell says that Marsau really doesn't want to be married. I can believe it. Based on the way he treats his wife, based on the way he talks to his wife, and based on the disconnect he seems to have regarding marriage, I can believe it. So that's not anything new that I feel like I haven't seen on screen. So I don't believe Martell is exaggerating when it comes to that. I don't think it's a surprise to any of us. In this moment, I'm going to walk it down from two perspectives. I'm going to walk it down from Martell, and then I'm going to walk it down from Marsau. And I got to be fair. I got to present both sides. So with Martell is going for the jugular in this scene because Martell, I believe, knows deep down inside, none of them, and when I say none of them, I'm talking about the men, none of them give not one fuck about their wives. Are y'all ready? Hello, Sunday. Okay. So what he does is he puts Letitia on display because I believe he knows that Marsau is not going to defend her, nor will he defend her honor because that's too much water under the bridge regarding the sexual, devious behaviors, indiscretions that they've had together as a group of men. This is where I need all of you to pause. Yuck. Yuck. Let me say it again. Martell knows exactly what he's doing. And at this point in the conversation, he goes for the jugular. He goes after Letitia because he knows deep down inside none of them aren't shit. And that Marsau is not going to defend her honor because Marsau had got too many skeletons in his closet anyway. There's nothing he can say. So that's why, in my opinion, Martell continues to go after Letitia. Now, here's where I need y'all to keep up with me because I don't think those of you that are tuned in really understand what has gone down with these men. Let me lay it out for you. Let me lay it out for you. These men have formulated a pact where they've all been in a room naked together, grown ass men, naked, married men, y'all. Watch this. And they've had orgies. I said it. According to Martell. Yeah, we've all done it together, but I go first. And I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's lying. I think he takes honor and he takes pride in going first. But watch this. And they've done things to the same women over and over and over again. And they have not always used protection based on the recent interview that Ariana Martell Holt did with one of the escorts that was flown in to Las Vegas. Okay. Martell, in that moment, in my opinion, once he said what he said to Marsau about Letitia, he should have woke up in ICU. Let me cook. He should have woke up only to realize that his black ass had been in a coma for 30 days or longer and couldn't remember shit about what happened. He should have woke up on a ventilator in ICU. But it is what it is. Everybody's different. But I do believe that he feels Marsau does not love Letitia on that level, and that's why he can come after her again, again, and again. And you know why I say that too? Let's get into it. I believe he thinks and he believes with all of his heart, Marsau don't love Letitia. You know why? Because he didn't love Melody on that level, which is why he threw her to the wolves when he and her divorce. And when it came to Ariana and the Scotts, and he allowed them to devour her post divorce. They're all cut from the same cloth, y'all. They just dress differently, they talk differently, and they all use different modalities to hide what they're really doing. Okay? Can we talk about it? They are all cut from the same cloth. Martell seems to understand that Marsau is weak in some areas and that Marsau gives zero fucks. See, Marsau's ability and his strength is not caring, but it's also his weakness, which is, in my opinion, I'm just breaking it down from a psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. I'm just giving you what I'm feel like I'm picking up. I think Marsau's weakness is also his strength and vice versa. And I think Martell knows him well. I think he knows him well. And he knows that Marsau has the inability to give zero fucks, which makes his wife a prime target in this game of cat and mouse that they are playing. So he knows where to strike. Letitia, you should have said nothing. It would have been one of the hardest things you've done, but baby, it would have empowered you moving forward. You should have said not one word because demons love operating in chaos. You should have let him talk by himself. Period, point blank. Give me a second. Can I go on? Oh, this is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. I had to roll the tape back 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And I watched it. And I watched it. And I watched it. Y'all, this was good. This is where it gets good. Marsau has the patience of Job. I believe from day one when Marsau met Martell and the Holtz became successful, Marsau decided to play the long game and not the short game. He's a marathoner and not a sprinter. Are you following me? Okay. The more the more I assess this, I'm gonna say this is gonna probably sound a bit interesting. I believe Marceau understands that he has dominance and control over both Letitia and Martell. Martell and Letitia to him are both on the same level, in my opinion. So we're gonna shift to Marceau because now this is Marceau's turn to go for the jugular. So he casually leans forward and he smiles. Okay. And he asked Martell, how did that work out for you? Because you sound pathetic. Oh, y'all, you sound pathetic. At this point, he begins to bruise Martell's ego by downplaying him and his words and his capability to match his intellect. And you can see Martell Holt, his demeanor shifts. He tries to recover, but it's too late because he's too sensitive. He's too inexperienced to play this game with Marsau. Can we continue? How did that work out for you? Because you sound pathetic. Now, Martell thought he was still up because he said, You're making your wife look pathetic. And then Marsau says, y'all, this is where he took his time to mind fuck Martell Holt. He says, well, you're making your wife look. And then he leaves a cliffhanger there, only to come back to it. And he says, oh, I forgot. You don't have one. Wait, y'all, listen. You don't have one. And you know why this is so important? Got him. Do you understand the significance of what just happened when he said that? Do you understand what happened in this scene? Marsau Scott can say that because he knows that he set Martell Holt up to lose his wife, and he did it slowly, strategically, and methodically. I want you all to go, if you haven't already, and I want you to find a book that's going to teach you exactly what's happening in this scene. I want you to read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. In this book, Napoleon Hill is having a conversation with the devil, and he begins to gloat in the face of the devil regarding how the devil cannot touch him and how he cannot be touched. And the devil simply responds, it's because your wife is your covering. Make no mistake about it. Should you lose her, I will devour you. Folks, I want you to meet the devil. Marsau Scott, guy who single-handedly caused Martell Holt to fall from grace. And there you have it, outwitting the devil.